Top 10 Facts How America Was Discovered. When Columbus arrived in 1492, the Americas had been inhabited for tens of thousands of years. He was not the first person to explore the continent. Instead, his discovery was the culmination of other discoveries. Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new video on the channel. Today, we are going to talk about how America was discovered. Before we get started with the video, don't forget to smash the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get started. In total, humanity discovered the Americas at least 7 times. For at least 6 of them, it wasn't all that new. The discoverers arrived by water and land, carrying new genomes, languages, and technology. Some remained, explored, and established empires. Others went home, leaving little evidence of their presence. Christopher Columbus, AD 1492. In 1492, Europeans could go to Asia via the Silk Road or by sailing the Cape route around Africa's southern edge. Sailing westward from Europe was supposed to be impossible. The ancient Greeks correctly computed that the Earth's circumference was 40,000 kilometers, placing Asia far to the west. However, Columbus made an error in his computations. A miscalculation in unit conversion resulted in a diameter of just 30,000 kilometers. This miscalculation, combined with other wishful thinking assumptions, resulted in a distance of only 4,500 kilometers between Europe and Japan. The true distance is approximately 20,000 kilometers. So Columbus' ships set out without enough provisions to reach Asia. Fortunately for him, he reached the Americas. Columbus, believing he had discovered the East Indies, dubbed its inhabitants Indios or Indians. He eventually died without comprehending his mistake. Amerigo Vespucci, the navigator, realized Columbus had discovered an uncharted place, and the name America was coined in 1507 in his honor. Polynesians, AD 1200. Around 2500 BC, a maritime tribe set sail from Taiwan in search of new territories. They sailed south via the Philippines, east through Melanesia, and finally out into the enormous South Pacific. The Polynesians were expert navigators, using wind, waves, and stars to navigate thousands of kilometers of open ocean. Polynesians settled Samoa, Fiji, Tonga, and the Cook Islands with massive double canoes. Some moved south to New Zealand, becoming Maori. Others traveled eastward to Tahiti, Hawaii, Easter Island, and the Marquesas. Finally, they arrived in South America. After exploring most of the Pacific, they gave up and completely forgot about South America. However, remnants of this incredible expedition remain. South Americans obtained chickens from Polynesians, and Polynesians may have gotten South American sweet potatoes. They shared more than food. Eastern Polynesians carry Native American DNA. Polynesians did not simply meet Native Americans, they wed them. Norse, AD 1021. According to Viking sagas, around AD 980, Eric the Red, a powerful Viking and smart salesperson, called a vast frozen wasteland Greenland to persuade people to relocate there. Then, in AD 986, a boat from Greenland discovered Canada's coast. Around AD 1021, Eric's son Leif founded a settlement in Newfoundland. The Vikings battled with the severe climate until war with Native Americans forced them back to Greenland. These stories were largely dismissed as myths until 1960, when archaeologists discovered the ruins of Viking colonies in Newfoundland. Inuit, AD 900. Before the Vikings, the Inuit traveled from Siberia to Alaska in skin boats. They were well adapted to the harsh Arctic Ocean, hunting whales and seals and living in sod huts and igloos along its coasts all the way to Greenland. Surprisingly, their DNA is most closely related to that of native Alaskans, showing that their ancestors colonized Asia from Alaska before returning to explore the Americas. Eskimo Aleut, 2000 to 2500 BC. The Inuit are descended from an earlier migration of Eskimo Aleut language speakers. These are distinct from other Native American languages and may be distantly linked to Uralic languages like Finnish and Hungarian. This, combined with DNA evidence, implies that the Eskimo Aleut was a unique migration. They crossed the Bering Sea from present-day Russia to Alaska some 4,000 to 4,500 years ago, displacing and combining with previous migrants, the Nadine people. Nadine, 3,000 to 8,000 BC. According to some studies, the Nadine people arrived in Alaska approximately 5,000 years ago after crossing the Bering Sea. However, other research suggests that they may have populated the Americas as far back as 10,000 years ago. The DNA found in their bones does not relate them to contemporary members of the Eskimo Aleut group. Rather, it links them to Native Americans who speak the Nadine language family. These Native Americans include the Navajo, Dean, Tlingit, and Apache people. There is a strong correlation between the Nadine languages and the languages spoken in Siberia, which further suggests that these languages constitute a unique migration. First Americans, 16,000 to 35,000 years ago. Nearly all of the Native American tribes, including the Sioux, the Comanche, the Iroquois, the Cherokee, the Aztecs, the Maya, the Quechua, and the Yanomami, speak languages that are very similar to one another. Given this, it appears that their languages descended from a single group who arrived in the Americas hundreds of years ago and spoke a similar ancestor tongue. The minimal genetic variety of their offspring is evidence that this founding tribe was relatively tiny, maybe consisting of fewer than 80 individuals. In what manner did they arrive? 11,700 years ago, as the last ice age came to an end, glaciers stored such a large amount of water that it caused sea levels to drop. The Bering Land Bridge was formed as a result of the Bering Sea's bottom drying up before his eyes. The first people in the United States of America recently walked from Russia to Alaska. It is debatable, however, when exactly they will begin their migration. It was once believed by archaeologists that the Clovis people, who lived approximately 13,000 years ago, were the first people to settle in the Americas. Evidence, however, reveals that humans arrived in the Americas far earlier than previously thought. The discovery of artifacts in the states of Washington, Oregon, Texas, the east coast of the United States, and Florida suggests that people arrived in the Americas sometime before the Clovis people. That's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.